Alright, I thought of a joke today. I'm sure it's online somewhere, but I didn't find it online, so I'm taking credit for it. What do you call a man with gum on his shoe? A gumshoe. Oh, I'm full of it. The war for North Africa and Europe. This is part two of this set of information. And this time we're going to focus on two things, the Operation Overlord and Battle of the Bulge and the significance of each. And then the only piece of key vocabulary we have is Omaha Beach, which happens to be part of Operation Overlord. Before jumping into day two of the war for North Africa and Europe, let's jump back to part one and just review the our operations and battles that we went over. So first and foremost, 1941 Operation Barbarossa. That's when Hitler and the Nazis go and invade the Soviet Union. The second battle we took a look at was the Battle of the Atlantic, the fighting that took place in the Atlantic Ocean beginning in 42 and not and through 43 and into 44, where the U.S. was trying to make its way to Britain to set up shop, if you will. The third battle we took a look at was the Battle of Stalingrad, a major turning point in the east for the war and the Soviet Union. And finally, the last discussed area of fighting was in North Africa and Italy, where the fighting U.S. and the Allied powers were able to get into Italy in 1943, but the fighting lasted until 1945. Now let's move into part two of the fighting in Europe. And the first place we're going to take a look is, or the first operation we're going to take a look at is Operation Overlord. And some of you already know this as D-Day. And it takes place June 6, 1944. And it is a huge, huge invasion of France, Nazi-occupied France. And that's what the picture on the right side of your screen is showing. The blue lines all leaving from Britain, crossing the English Channel, and landing on the beaches of Nazi-occupied France. And the whole goal here is to open up a second front. Stalin and the Soviet Union wanted this right away as soon as the United States joined in the fighting. They both decided to wait, attack North Africa first, but now led once again by Dwight D. Eisenhower, Operation Overlord is trying to do just that. It's trying to get back into Western Europe, open up a second front, and of course, this is exactly what Hitler did not want when he began his takeover of Europe. Operation Overlord is such a huge operation that nobody's quite sure how this is all going to work out, and things only become more unclear, literally, the day of, because it's a very foggy day when they go to perform this operation. Um, it, the operation includes different landing points, and there are multiple beaches that they land on. The most famous of which in America is Omaha Beach. And that's one of the American landing points. That's where some of the most brutal fighting in all of World War II is going to take place. And that's because these beaches are lined with Germans who have higher ground, and on a beach, it's wide open. So these soldiers, these Allied soldiers, are running at Germans with really no type of camouflage, no cover, and they're trying to take over the beach at which the Germans hold. It's a terrible situation. And then you throw a wrench into things, and they just cross the English Channel, which is really choppy waters. So a lot of them are getting sick. Not only that, but many of them are going to war for the first time, no matter the age. Uh, when you step on land, you are running on sand. It's not hard surface you're running on. You know, you sink in sand. And add on to that how much military gear people are wearing. It's not that they don't have 15 more pounds of gear. They have 75 more pounds or more of gear, including their weaponry. So it's a big, big time struggle, and lots of men of the 3 million that are sent over, lots and lots are going to perish on the beaches of Omaha. But it's all not in vain. It is to open up a second front, and the invasion in the end is successful. So Operation Overlord takes place in 1944 in June, and by December of 1944, one other major battle, and that is the Battle of the Bulge. And it's at the Battle of the Bulge we see that Hitler is at his uh, throwing his last ditch efforts into breaking the advance in the west of Britain, the United States, and other Allied powers. Um, and he's already been feeling heat in the east from the continuously advancing Soviet army. In the Battle of the Bulge has U.S. troops, Allied troops advancing through the Ardennes forest on their way into Germany when Hitler goes on the offensive. And it's called the Bulge because Hitler goes on the offensive trying to break up the lines of the Allied soldiers. And the lines are pushed back, but they don't break. So it's been a very historical tactic to try and break lines in armies, and that's what Hitler tries to do here. After a few weeks, Hitler's offensive is put down, and the advance of the troops, the Allied troops in the West, continues on into Germany, and eventually Germany is going to collapse. And it does in what is known as VE Day, Victory in Europe Day, May 8th, 1945, when the war in Europe has officially come to a close. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time.